Welcome everybody to Kitchenorama. Hope you all are staying safe and taking care of yourself. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest. Now, I have been craving for some restaurant style burgers, but I'm also being a little cautious about taking food from outside, so I decided to whip something right under 20 minutes in my kitchen. So today we're making these spicy salmon burgers which come together in less than 20 minutes with whatever ingredients and whatever spices you may have in your pantry. I'm taking these bite-sized chunks of salmon, adding some salt, some red paprika, some turmeric, some coriander powder. Now when I say some, I'm taking roughly about half to a teaspoon, 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, and I'm drizzling it with some cooking oil, and I'm going to go ahead and marinate my salmon pieces. I apologize for my voice today. I am coming down with a little bit of cold, but I will try to speak as clearly as I can. Once my salmon pieces are all marinated, I am using the Shan brand of fried fish masala. You can find this in any Indian grocery stores. Again, the brand is Shan, and I'm using fried fish masala. I'm putting roughly about 1 tablespoon of the masala, and I am going to marinate and set these salmon pieces sit aside for roughly about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my Instant Pot going on saute mode. I'm going to add some oil, and once my oil warms up, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds. And once my cumin seeds start spluttering, I'm going to go ahead and add my salmon pieces into the oil. Now I'm not using any tomatoes, no onions, nothing. Just a little bit of oil and putting all my salmon pieces in there. And once all my salmon is in, I'm going to give it a good stir. Put the lid back on and cook it for 5 minutes. It just takes 5 minutes for the salmon to come together. Now we do not want to cook our salmon completely through and through because we are making burgers, which means we will be pan frying them shortly. To make my burger patties, I'm using some black eye beans, some edamame, some breadcrumbs, some chopped cilantro, some chopped green chilies, and I'm using some cornstarch. Now my black eye beans and my edamame are all boiled, and I am going to make sure that after 5 minutes I'm going to release the pressure, and I'm going to put the lid to a side, and you can see that my salmon is all cooked. Now I'm taking all my boiled black eyed beans, boiled edamame, and I have mushed it, and I'm gonna mix it all well together in a small bowl. Now if you want, you can boil your any kind of beans, whatever beans you would like to add, you can use them. I'm just using what I had. I'm gonna add about 1 small bunch of cilantro. You can add spinach, you can add parsley. The options are endless. And I've added some green chilies because we like our burgers to be spicy. You can totally skip it if you want to keep it a little easy on your palate. And I'm adding roughly about 3 to 4 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. You can either use fresh breadcrumbs or you can get something from the store. And you're going to give it a good mix. And once that's done, I am going to go ahead and add my salmon. Now, as you can see, I have shredded the salmon, and I am going to give everything a good mix. And I realized as I started mixing all this that I needed a bigger bowl. As I started realizing, well, this is not going to fit everything I need. So let's see. I'm going to give it a good nice mix. Everything should come together. Make sure that your beans are getting all covered with the salmon. If you have boiled your beans, and if you're like you don't have a masher, you can always put it in a food processor. That way everything kind of blends in good. I'm using cornstarch. I'm going to roughly add about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and that acts as my binding agent for my burgers together. So I have a lot of textures going on in this burger. I have the different beans, I have my salmon, I have my breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to give it, as you can see, I had to transfer it into a bigger bowl because at this point, once I have blended the cornstarch in, I would need some room to make my patties. So give it a good mix, and once that's done, taste, adjust any spices, any condiments you need to, and then start using your hands to start kneading it into more like a doughy consistency, and start taking smaller portions based on what sizes you want to make. Now you can make regular sized burgers, or you can make them or smaller sizes like slider burgers for kids if you're having a kids party or anything. These turn out absolutely crispy when you pan fry them. So I have taken some oil on my cast iron pan. I'm going to lay my burgers down, and I am going to fry them on both sides till they are nice and crispy and golden brown. Give it a good pat and make sure they're cooking good. Now, it does not take a whole lot of long time for these burgers to come together and to cook, because your salmon is almost 70% done. Your beans are already boiled, and you're gonna go ahead and take your burger buns with some oil or butter, and you're gonna brown them up a little bit, and you can use anything to layer your burgers. I've used some lettuce, some tomatoes, some red onions, and some pepper jack cheese in there, and washing it down with a fizzy cup of Coke. Enjoy these homemade spicy burgers with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe.